get scared because I don't care. And Halloween is approaching us very, very soon, everyone. We are this close, just a few days away, and I am excited to do nothing. Yeah, it's just that kind of year, folks. I've come to accept it. It's just, it sucks. It sucks that Halloween is, while not canceled, just, it's not going to be as festive as it was. But that doesn't mean we can just cancel it or just not celebrate it. I've been doing it all month. I've been going to the Halloween store, buying some stuff for the show. I've been watching plenty of horror-themed movies. I'm going to dress up for work, and I'm gonna have a good time. With that said, let's review Halloween. Now, Halloween is a classic. What else can I say about this movie that hasn't been said in the last 40 plus years? Hell, today is its 42nd anniversary as the time of this recording. And it still holds up. This movie is a quintessential slasher flick. Hell, this movie got me into slasher movies. I watched it first back in high school. When the Rob Zombie remake was coming out, I decided to watch the original finally, and I loved it. So, why even talk about it? Well, one, it's appropriate. Two, it's my show, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. So there's that. That's the main reason. Halloween, of course, as everyone knows, is about a mental patient escaping from the asylum and then coming to his hometown and killing babysitters. As we all know who the killer is, Michael Myers. Meanwhile, his doctor is hunting him down to stop him, and a babysitter named Laurie Strode is just trying to survive Halloween. It's a pretty simple premise, and yet it holds up. Everyone knows the story, and it sticks with you. This movie was done on such a low budget that it's amazing what you can do with that. It is that movie that you have to watch to know this is what you can do with a small budget and make it look good. Halloween is one of my favorite movies, or one of my favorite horror films. Like I said, it's what got me into slashers. It's what showed me what slashers are, because back in the day, I actually didn't care for them. I thought they were trash. But this movie opened my eyes, and then I started watching other horror slashers. Texas Chainsaw, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. And now I'm watching slashers just about every day. Halloween is a gorgeous movie. Let's go ahead and say it. It's a really well shot movie. It knows how to make scenes intense. It knows how to line the mood. It knows how to make it. It knows how to tell the story through visual media. John Carpenter is a master when it comes to shooting the film. He knows what to do. He knows what scene he wants and how it wants to be done. When you see the track shots and just you see Michael's body, nothing else, you get this sense of this predator coming. Like he's on the hunt, but he doesn't want just anybody. He's looking for specific people. And you get that from the track shot. He is the boogeyman. He is this myth, this urban legend in Haddonfield is what he is. and his legend will continue after that night, after that fateful night. And hell, like, just simple still shots, simple steady shots where you see just Michael in the background, or you see him just standing there stalking Lori, and you just the shots just won't let you not see him. He's there even if you can't see him. That's to me is how good the cinematography is. And of course, let's also get out of the way the location. It's not Illinois. It's not Illinois. It's California. You see the palm trees in the background. Who gives a shit? Who cares? It's fun to poke fun of, but who cares? It never takes me out of the movie. It never does, because mostly I never see the palm trees. I never do. So why would it bother me? I do look for the palm trees, and I never do see them because I'm too busy watching everything else in the movie. But I mean, John Carpenter knows how to make a scene. Even if there's a fucking palm tree in the background, he knows how to make it to where you're not focusing on the background. You're not getting distracted. You're focusing on what he is trying to show. Performances. Again, anyone could just scoff at the performances because it's a slasher movie. But no, because these are not only grade A actors, these are actors that are remembered today, that are loved today. This was Jamie Lee Curtis's first movie. And of course she had a legacy already set up for her. She's the daughter of Janet Leigh, best known for Psycho. Tony Curtis was her father. And here she's given the chance to be in this movie. Now, it doesn't surprise me that this movie is inspired by Psycho, and you got the daughter of Janet Leigh as your star. That to me is not just coincidence. John Carpenter, and I could be wrong, wanted that connection, wanted it that badly. And you know what? It could have gone south. It could have gone really, really bad. But it didn't. Because Jamie Lee Curtis is so good in this. Playing the virgin high schooler, the one that's always very shy, focused on her studies, but knows how to have friends, can also be stern when she has to, when she's babysitting. She's a Girl Scout, basically, and she even says she's a Girl Scout. And I love that yes, this is where the beginning of the whole virgin final girl happened. But you know what? That kind of stopped after a while. Jamie Lee Curtis built her own legacy based on this movie. She is, just like her mother, a scream queen. And I bow down to her every time I watch this movie. She deserves to reign as one of the ultimate scream queens of all time. Enough of that. Enough of praising Jamie Lee Curtis, who is fantastic in this movie. Let's talk about everyone else. Let's talk about Donald Pleasance, who was already this well-established actor, this praised actor, hired to be in this very low-budget movie. This movie that you would think is beneath him, and yet he ended up doing 5 sequels. No, I'm sorry, 4 sequels, not counting Halloween 3. He continued to do this up to his death. And that says something. That says something, again, about Donald Pleasance. Yes, a lot of people, including me, are gonna remember him for playing Dr. Loomis, or anything else that's a John Carpenter movie. And that's great. That's the thing I love about these movies, is they will get actors that have already been established, and then end up being in a new legacy. Dr. Loomis in this there's a reason why he's considered the hero of the franchise. He's a guy with his own arc, which is that, as you see in the sequels, he continues to lose it. He is starting to almost become the monster that he is trying to fight. You see it in this movie as well, because he knows what Michael is capable of. Michael is a monster. He is pure evil. And Dr. Loomis is trying to stop that before people get killed. He feels responsible, and you see how far he's willing to go to stop Michael. And you see it later on in sequels, where he is, quite frankly, the best goddamn thing in those sequels. And you got and of course you got the other ones. You got PJ Souls, you got Annie, you have those characters, and they're great too. They're very 70s. they're very 70s, and yeah, sure, you could watch it and go, well, that's dated, but that's the point. It is set in the 70s, and it's a nice little time capsule to hear, like, the language people said back then. Like, totally every other sentence. every other fucking syllable. and you follow those characters too. So, like, you get a long time with these characters before they die. You get a long time with Annie, while she's babysitting Lindsay Wallace. You get this almost sense of dread as he is stalking her. And while, like, one of the scenes that made me turn this off when I first watched it, because it freaked me out so much, was when she was going out to the laundry shed and she gets stuck in the window, and I thought that was going to be it. I thought Michael, because there's Michael behind her, and I'm like, oh god, he's going to, like, cut her head off or something. I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, the intensity of this movie as you watch it is nerve-wracking. It's amazing how long you stick with a character, that you start to feel for them, and that's what this is about. This isn't like other, like, slashers later on that are just a dime a dozen, where it's like, yeah, okay, just kill them off in 5 seconds. All right, on to the next victim. These are characters we need to feel for. Annie, I feel for it. And I especially feel even worse when her dad's gonna find out, who's the sheriff, and he's going to lose it. And then you got PJ Souls, who gets a pretty memorable kill, because it is that kill where for me personally, it establishes Michael is a monster. Michael is the boogeyman. He is terrifying. And that's the other thing. We never see his mask for the majority of the movie. Even when you think you do. Yeah, sure, you'll see in wide shots, but you never get the full look of it. It's always in shadow. That I think is what makes it even more effective, is when Michael is in shadow, you don't see his mask. He is the shape. He is an entity. And Nick Castle does a damn good job in portraying Michael as this entity. And that's what I feel like a lot of people kind of miss about Michael. Yes, he is a man. He is a man, but you know what? He is a man that's a monster. You don't need to give him supernatural abilities. You don't need to give him psychic powers or anything like. You don't need to do anything like that. You just need to show what he is able to do as a man without making him sympathetic. And I mean, and Michael should never be sympathetic. There should be no backstory as to why he does what he does. He's a monster. He's just pure evil. And this movie establishes a horror icon in just 90 minutes. Hell, even less than that. For me, the real star of this movie is indeed the soundtrack. Like, we all know it. It's iconic. It's just a few notes that John Carpenter wrote in 30 minutes. He played it on his piano. It's just, I normally, around this time of year, I never get it out of my head. It's just one of my favorite horror pieces of all time. It sticks with you. It sticks with you just like the rest of the movie, and that's what John Carpenter was going for, was that this movie could have easily failed. Well, okay, probably not failed considering the budget, but it probably would not be as iconic as it is. And the music just seals that. It nails everything that you get from this movie. It nails the atmosphere, it nails the sense of dread, and what's great is that it uses it when it needs to. Sometimes you just need silence. You just need silence, like Jaws, like the shark. You don't need the music to tell you he's coming. You just need silence. And the other thing is, this is kind of where the whole musical stinger jump scare started. And honestly, it has even, to me, one of the best jump scares, which is when Laurie is dropping a key off at the old Myers house, and we see the inside of it from the perspective of the house, like inside it. You just then all of a sudden see the back of Michael's head. And then boom, the musical stinger, and it gets me every time. I know it's gonna happen. I know it's there, and it gets me every time. I can never not jump. It is that effective. This movie started a lot of things, a lot of trends for the slasher genre, for the horror genre. This movie is quintessential and legendary in terms of every aspect of that I have stated. The acting, the cinematography, the music, everything. Everything about this movie is amazing. It is one of my favorite horror films, if not my favorite. But this is definitely a quality film that shows what you can do with very little money. It is a movie that stands the test of time, that continues to get sequels in other universes, or 2 remakes. It gets everything. Hell, a fan film just came out today, or this week. I'm sorry. 2 fan films came out this week. That is the legacy of Halloween. That is what this movie has done. It has left just this urge to go out there, make films on a low budget, especially horror films, and it has helped create horror fans like me. I used to be I am a coward. I am scared of a lot of things, this movie included. But it is a comfort movie for me because it it helped make me who I am today. And I am thankful for this movie. Hell, I still have the DVD I got back in high school. It's simple. It's really got a few behind the scenes stuff. It's got a couple of documentaries there, trailers, you know, that sort of thing. Widescreen, full screen option. But it in Anchor Bay was pretty good. Now, of course, you can get the Blu-ray that's been out since 5 years ago, more than 5 years ago. That you can get that for like $10 off of Amazon, and I'll probably do that. But this is a good copy. If you can find this at your local Walmart or anywhere else, just this copy, you'll be satisfied. Like this is over 10 years old. It's time to upgrade, but I may not do it anytime soon. Halloween, I just can't say anything bad about it. I just can't. There's nothing wrong with this movie, at least personally to me. Yes, are there palm trees? Of course. Yes, has this movie started a bunch of tropes that got played out years later, even in its own franchise? Yes. Is Michael the scariest fucking slasher ever? Probably not. But this movie started something. This movie established what we know and love about the slasher genre. And that's why it's one of my favorites. That's why I love this movie so much. And yes, of course, it didn't need to take place on Halloween. No, but it helped establish what kind of night Halloween night can be for anyone. It can be a horrifying night. I love this movie. I don't know how many times I can fucking say it. With that said, I give Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, a 10 out of 10. This movie is just too good for me to bash. It's too good for me to find anything negative. Yes, maybe it's nostalgia. Maybe it is rose-tinted glasses. But you know what? It's rightfully earned. It's rightfully loved as a classic in horror films. This movie made me love horror. It made me love Halloween. More so than I ever did before. It was it has and always will be my comfort movie. It will always be a movie I go to every year. Even if I'm not reviewing it, I'll watch it. Because it's that fun. It's that enjoyable to watch. And I like to get scared. Well, that's it for me, guys. If you like this video, please let me know in the comments below. Hit that like and subscribe button. And remember, I'm on the Slasher app on my new handle at OcCULTure Critic. Well, I'm Adam the OcCULTure Critic. I get scared because I don't care. And I'm going to go get some candy and probably watch some scary movies before November starts. And I have to cry about that. Happy Halloween, everybody.